You ever get that feeling, that constant struggle to just get your life together? Yeah, we all do. Well, today we're going to dig into this really cool idea from the School of Thoughts. It's all about creating your own set of rules to live by. And look, I know what you're thinking. Rules? Ugh, but stick with me. These aren't the kind of rules that box you in. They're the kind that actually set you free.
I mean, let's be real for a second. When I say the word rules, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's restriction, right? We think about all those dumb rules from when we were kids, or maybe those soul-crushing policies at work. It just feels like a cage, you know? A cage someone else built.
Okay, but what if we just flip that whole idea on its head? So on one side, you've got the rules someone else makes for you. They feel restrictive, right? Punishing even. They're just forced on you. But on the other side, you have rules you make for yourself. And suddenly they become empowering, supportive. There's something you choose. When you see it laid out like this, side by side, man, it's a total game changer.
So, let's unpack this a little. Why do we have such a bad taste in our mouths when it comes to rules? What does that even come from?
Here's the thing. We're already living by a bunch of rules. We just don't realize it. They're these unwritten, invisible scripts we follow every single day. You know those self-limiting beliefs? Those bad habits we just can't seem to shake? And those are the rules that are actually holding us back. So it's time to grab the pen and start writing our own story, our own rules.
And this is where it gets really good. This is where we talk about creating a new kind of rule. The kind that doesn't cage you in, but actually helps you build the life you've always wanted.
So let's stop calling them rules and start calling them guiding principles. I love that. The idea here is that they're a set of personal guidelines that you create for yourself, and, this is the key part, they come from a place of love and self-respect. Their only job is to help you live a more fulfilling life. It's not about punishing yourself when you mess up, it's all about helping yourself grow.
And this metaphor from the source material, wow. They're our life oxygen meant to keep us grounded and focused. Think about that. These aren't heavy chains weighing you down. They're the very air you breathe. They're what keep you grounded in who you really want to be and help you focus on what actually matters instead of all the other noise out there. It just perfectly captures how vital this can be.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But you're probably thinking, okay, so how do I actually do this? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's make this something you can actually use.
The first step is actually pretty simple. It's about looking inward. You need to ask yourself two really powerful questions. First, where is my energy being drained? And second, where is my joy being stolen? Just sit with those for a minute. The answers you come up with, that's where you start building your principles.
Okay, to really see how this works, let's look at 5 real examples. These are going to show you exactly how you can take a nagging problem and turn it into an empowering personal principle.
First one up, the problem of constant complaining. We've all been there, right? The author realized she was just wasting so much mental energy moaning about her colleagues. So she created this principle. I'm a complaint-free woman. And look, this isn't about pretending problems don't exist. It's about shifting your energy from just griping to actually doing something about it. It's about taking action instead of just reacting.
All right, next up is a big one, energy-draining family calls. Oh man, we all have those people in our lives who just suck the life right out of you, don't we? So the principle here is, I do not call certain family first thing in the morning or right before sleeping. It's so smart. It's not about cutting people off completely. It's about protecting your own peace during the most important parts of your day, the very beginning and the very end.
Okay, this next quote, it really hits hard. Holding on to resentment is like dragging around heavy chains. It keeps me from flying high. Wow. I mean, just picture that. These heavy chains you're carrying around, they aren't hurting the other person. They're only stopping you from being able to fly. So, to combat that feeling, the principle became, I am a woman who lets it go and lets it be. And again, this isn't about saying what happened was okay. Not at all. It's about making a choice to free yourself from its power over you. Imagine all the mental energy you'd get back if you just let it go.
How about this one? Needing other people's approval. Gosh, so many of us fall into that trap, looking for our value in what other people think. The principle to fight that is, I am everything God says about me and nothing less. It's this powerful daily reminder to find your worth from within. It's you telling yourself, my value is not up for debate. It doesn't change based on someone else's opinion.
And last but not least, money. That social pressure around money is real, isn't it? You get asked to chip in for things or go to events that just don't feel right for your budget or your values. So the principle is simple and direct. My money, my rules. It's basically you declaring, I'm going to spend my money in a way that aligns with what's important to me, not what other people expect from me.
Okay, so you've got some ideas swirling around now. You've pinpointed some problems and maybe even drafted a principle or two. But now comes the most important part. How do you actually make them stick? How do you make this a real, lasting change? Let's talk about the follow-through.
And you know what? The process is actually beautifully simple. There are just 3 steps. First, you got to write them down. Get them out of your head and onto paper. Make them real. Second, revisit them every single day. Read them. This is how you start to rewire your brain. And third, and this might be the most important one, forgive yourself. You're going to mess up. You're human. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's just to make progress.
And I just love this analogy. It's like learning to walk, right? It's not something you just decide to do and then you're perfect at it. You're going to wobble. You're going to fall down a lot. But what do? You get back up, dust yourself off, and you try again. That's exactly what this is.
So, as we finish up here, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. After everything we've talked about, what's that one area in your life that's just screaming for a guiding principle? What is the very first rule you're going to write for yourself? Not from a place of punishment, but from a place of love.